I now refer to the events of last Tuesday with regard to the PNQ. The Honourable Minister made his main reply from 11:45 to 6 past noon. At 6 past noon, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition requested for additional time and pursued with his supplementary questions. He had the opportunity to put 9 supplementary questions until 18 past noon. During this interval, the proceedings were punctuated with numerous interruptions and disorderly behavior, which resulted in losing the time of the House. Hence, the time allowed to the PNQ, and I reminded the House accordingly. At 18 past noon, that is, after some 33 minutes had already elapsed, I gave advance notice to the Leader of the Opposition, informing him that I would be allowing him 2 additional questions. The House will appreciate, in all fairness, that the Chair did not impose a time limit. In other words, the 2 additional questions and answers could have lasted the time that they would have lasted. However, the Honourable Leader of the Opposition was not agreeable thereto and confronted the Chair on this issue. He furthermore remained standing while I was on my feet, although I requested him to resume his seat on no less than 9 occasions. At the same time, I reminded the Leader of the Opposition that as a seasoned member, he should know the rules, and that by continuing to stand up, he was confronting the Chair. In those circumstances, I considered the remark and the ensuing conduct of the Honourable Leader of Opposition to be grossly disorderly, and I ordered him out, that is, to withdraw immediately from the House during the remainder of that day's sitting in accordance with Standing Order 48. Thereafter, on the Honourable Leader of Opposition uttering the utterly disrespectful words against the Chair, I quote, "I have no respect for you, Madam Speaker," unquote, which is on record, and refusing to obey the direction to leave the chamber, I could have named the Honourable Leader of Opposition outright and avail myself of the provisions of Standing Order 49. However, considering this to be an extreme measure which has been sparingly used as at to date, I deliberately chose to suspend the sitting and invite the Honourable Leader of the Opposition in private to review his position with a view to resuming the remaining business of the Assembly with serenity. Indeed, I invited the Honourable Leader of the Opposition in my office, and he intimated to me that he would withdraw from the House for the remainder of the day, as he did not propose to tender his unreserved apologies, which would have otherwise allowed him to resume his seat in this chamber. However, when the Assembly was about to resume, I was informed by the Sergeant-at-Arms that the Honourable Leader of Opposition had signified his intention not to withdraw from the House. In the circumstances, in order to ensure that the authority of the Chair be upheld and the business of the Assembly be proceeded with, the naming procedure had to be engaged as follows. The person presiding names the Honourable Member. A Honourable Member moves to take the time of the House to present a motion without notice. On the motion being carried, the Honourable Member puts the motion which needs to be seconded. The person presiding puts the question that the said member be suspended from the service of the Assembly for a stated period, and same is to be carried to become effective. The House will appreciate that, to all intents and purposes, the established procedure has been scrupulously observed, I trust that the above has helped clear all the misconceptions with regard to the naming procedure of Tuesday last. I thank you.